That time of week again. Welcome in episode, what is this, 22?
I've got 22 written down.
Man, this year is flying by. I feel like we started at the end of last year, but it's already 22 weeks into this. Hope your weekend is going well. We are recording this on Friday after the close. Hope your week went well. Also, a ton to talk about this week. We're going to get into CPI. We're going to talk about Apple. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about all kinds of nonsense in between.
Hey, give me a what's up?
Hi.
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 You look very pristine today.
Really?
You know, like you just got a nice little haircut
you.
there, everything. You're welcome. Hey, Masters.
Yeah. It's that time of year again.
My one good thing, is this the beginning of the podcast?
It's the end. Let's just wrap it up.
Yeah, no. My one good thing is actually, and I'm just talking about this because I was going to ask you, we have DeChambeau, Scheffler, and Max Homa right now at the top. If you could have one of them win, I mean, this is filmed Friday. They're not even through 2 rounds yet.
Yeah.
I like to cheer for Scheffler.
If DeChambeau can keep it in bounds.
Dangerous man. But I still have a thing against Liv a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I can't blame him for taking the money.
Of course.
But I don't watch them every week. I watch the PGA.
Yeah,
So my one good thing, though, is actually chilling out with family members or by yourself, whatever. You have a nice cold one, you're watching the Masters. I feel like it's kicking off spring.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you mentioned last we had baseball on our mind, but the Masters, so awesome.
We talked about this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Go back and watch. The prestige around these events is not the same anymore, in my opinion. Since this divide has happened, they have changed the prestige. And I don't want to get into, a downer to kick things off.
You know what I read today? Listen to this. Talk about prestige. The Masters for a 4-day pass. So they don't make basically. No. You're going to be surprised at what I'm going to say. I feel like.
Yeah.
I know. So Brendan put his eyes up. I think it's going to be really expensive. So they actually kept everything, and you might know this about the Masters as well.
Yeah.
Like a sandwich is like $3.
Yeah.
Like a beer is like $3. Like, so they haven't done that. They make over $1 million or something like that an hour based on food sales and clothing sales just on the course.
Yeah.
You can't even buy this stuff online. Like that's what they're selling on the course. But a 4-day walking pass for the Masters, if you can get it. How much do you think?
I wasn't doing that with my eyes on the price. I was doing that on my eyes because I know there's a very, very limited amount.
Yes.
Every single year. So I actually don't know what the price is, but it's very hard to get.
So it's only $560.
Yeah.
That's how cheap it is. And they were showing like on StubHub in the secondary market, those same things that are $500+ selling for $13,000, $14,000, $15,000.
That's insane.
So I feel like the Masters should be upping their ticket prices.
You've seen, these pictures have flown around almost every single year, but there's pictures always in the middle of the winter of the course of Augusta when they're doing renovations and it's all torn apart and they have all the grass off and it's just torn up.
Azaleas in there.
It looks completely different, but yeah, that's impressive.
Is that a bucket list thing?
Did you? 100%.
Oh my God, 100%. I'd love to go there when I can see Tiger, but.
Did you see?
Well, he'll play forever, right?
A couple more years, maybe. Hopefully.
No, but they have like Mike Weir is teeing off.
Yeah.
Because as long as you
they can always
win,
go back.
It's one of those. Your grandfather did until you are a grandfather.
Did you see the videos going back to Thursday of when they opened the gates?
No.
There's a no running rule at Augusta.
Oh God!
So it's just
hello Black Friday.
It's madness of people speed walking to get their spot on the course of where they want to.
I would like to see that. That'd be funny. Yeah. And what if you are running? They're gonna be like, no, you ran back in the line.
Get out.
Back of the line.
You just get kicked out.
Broke those rules.
All right, let's talk about a few things here to get back to the market because it was an absolute. Crazy week, a very important week when it comes to macroeconomic data. We'll touch on the CPI coming up here, but I want to start things off with this. This is a weekly chart of the dollar, the USD.
Yeah, what was up with that?
An absolute monster move coming off the back of the CPI, coming off the back of PPI, where we get both, the CPI worse than the PPI, but both hinting at inflation still a problem here. We get this massive move. It was 1.6% on the week to the upside for the USD. That's a weekly chart. A huge breakout here for the dollar.
We finally had some, breakout to the long side, obviously, and then we also had some pullbacks today also in gold. So, I mean, there's been some interesting things with CPI bouncing around, PPI, the market really reacting to this. We've pushed out that Fed rate tool. We had Frank on Tuesday before all of this happened, and we had 2%. No chance of cuts. Now we're up to 11, 12, 13%. Yep. So some of these numbers keep getting thrown around. Plus, Brendan, unfortunately, as we keep talking about this, we have energy starting to go up to the upside. Obviously, gold continues to go up, but we'll talk about a move down today in the space for that. But just think more uncertainty. We had a little bit of a negative headline there about Iran with Israel, and then the U.S. talking about, challenging that. And so I don't know. I just think that a flight to more safety would make a little bit of sense there. So the U.S. dollar, obviously, what is king of the castle there. So I expect more to come on.
Yeah, gold all-time highs as well. We touched on that.
Did you see gold today? Come over to this chart.
It's unreal.
No, but this move today.
Yeah.
It was, it's largest,
Crazy.
Crazy move. Largest single day move, both up or down. No candle larger than this one. That's a 216 all the way there, 221, the high 224. So you had basically in there about an $8 move in gold today, back down into the downside. Plus you had a break in Bitcoin as well that touched 65,000 again. Yeah. So that was down 4 or 5% on the day.
Did we figure out what that was? It was a weird flush.
I thought there was a story from Madeira talked about a Chinese ETF listing on the Hong Kong exchange.
Why is that so negative?
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I went long and
it's so weird.
Nailed that trade, by the way. Hey, how about that strategy, Brendan? The Warren Buffett strategy of trading Bitcoin.
Wait for a crash and then buy?
Yes. No, but if you think about it, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Cardano today, known as am I allowed to say shit?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. Normally you ask that question before you say it, right? But so these coins, 20% down today, Cardano. Solana down 14%. They're going lower and lower. So if we're going to take the Warren Buffett view of crypto, would be to trade Bitcoin because it is the one and only. What did you just type there? Edit that out.
No. I'll tell you.
Anyways, no. But what I was going to say is that the crash back down there in Bitcoin, I do think blood in the streets. You buy if you believe in crypto. Do not put your money into Ripple or anything like that. God. I think hold out for Bitcoin hope.
Yeah.
So that's what I did today on IBIT.
I mean, those ETFs were insane, and we'll touch on that because I want to get to, if we have time, we'll talk about BlackRock here a little bit. But I want to talk about the CPI, but I want to kick things off before you show that, Ramin, with the top 3 most searched finance topics on Google this week. Because, and this is not necessarily anything to do with the market, obviously, but I think it's a sign of the overall economic landscape that we're in. Sean, the top 3 most searched finance-related topics on Google this week: student loans, mortgage calculators.
Let me stop.
And
let me guess. Tesla.
Foreclosures. Close. But a sign of the times, I think.
The number 1 was?
Student loans.
Yeah, student loans, yeah.
And mortgage calculators. Lots of people thinking about what's it going to cost to A, get a mortgage, and B, keep a mortgage.
And how the hell am I going to pay back my student loans?
And then what happens if you don't pay your mortgage, you get foreclosed.
Wasn't there a relief today from Joe Biden or something? There was something about student loans.
I missed that.
Maybe that's why. But I just looked at this push out of the rate, and I just want to get it right. Yeah. It's 9.3%. So we go all the way to December. There's a 9.3% chance that we stay the same. But what do you think about that? 30% chance of only 1 rate cut.
The bigger thing with that bell curve now is the interest in general across the board in that is down.
Yes.
So there's way more uncertainty as to where they're going to go across the board. And I mentioned that back on, I think it was Thursday. We were talking to Frank in that the June meeting, which everyone had earmarked as the potential first cut, is also the next time we get economic projections and we get the dot plot again. So that's going to be...
the dot plot's in June again?
It's going to be important.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But wasn't the last dot plot gave us those 6 cuts?
No. That was December, and then in March it pushed it out to, I think it was October.
I'm just saying, like, can we trust the dot plot?
No, it's not important.
So then do we need it?
In my opinion, here's
I just typed
the
in June in the chart, by the way.
here's the CPI breakdown
As if that makes any sense.
that we got back on, what day was it?
Oh, yes.
Wednesday.
Oh, I had a tweet for this too.
So core services is the beige. Is that beige? I guess the biggest part of that.
CPI.
Core goods, purple. You can't even really see. The food and energy wanted to focus on here. So food and energy, the very top of the bar there. Food, the very bottom of the bar, essentially. So it's still the same story. Oil's going back up. Energy's the most expensive, but core services remains a sticking point. And I mean, to you, that chart's going higher, no?
CPI?
Just in general.
In general, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the more and more that we continue to spend, I mean, we are a spending economy in North America, and I don't think that it's getting in control anytime soon.
No.
But I think it's pretty much, again, you had talked about this. I think the best thing to do would be go back Thursday, Tuesday at about 2:45 on our show. Go find it, TraderTV.Live, when we did have Frank on there. But at the end of the day, maybe that 2%, Brennan, is not the right target. You know, the market is chugging along. We're pretty much at full employment. Why do we even have to worry about that 2%? Maybe we should worry about, and we said something about buying our homes a decade ago, you know, that gave us an opportunity to appreciate this move up.
Yeah.
And so when you get sort of higher mortgage rates right now, we might have to refinance. It's okay because we have a lot of sort of liquidity built into the house already. Yeah. But people right now that are trying to, unfortunately, deal with housing and deal with rent, it's almost impossible, especially when it's like 70% of your pay has to go to pay some kind of a rent.
Yeah.
This is actually, similar to what you showed, this is breaking it down even more. Like auto insurance, this is a 12-month change. So auto insurance, huge. There's rent still up, housing still up, and this is 12-month change. We were already up the past 12 months before that.
Yeah.
So until something happens, restaurant meals up, personal care earnings still up. And remember we had that talk there about real wages going upside? Well, we still get earnings still.
4.1%.
Yeah.
That's too much.
But that's for earnings.
No, I know, but that's too much. That's the one thing they keep saying they need to see going down.
Going down, exactly. And maybe with a cut in jobs, I don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon. AI is here, but there's still so much service that needs to be done. Like, we're still going out, buying clothes. We're still eating out.
What was that?
I mean, the restaurants is...
Rental cars? Is that what I saw?
Auto insurance.
No, the bottom one.
Rental cars.
Yeah,
minus 8.8%. And then toys and airfare. Okay, so we talked about this on the main show, Brennan. I just feel like this is because this is 12 months. Your stat was actually a little more accurate. This is because 12 months ago, like a year ago, maybe rental cars.
True.
Where people were renting cars potentially more. Because used cars are more expensive. Those prices have come down. People were potentially traveling a little bit more back then. So I could see the price of that being
good time to rent a car.
Great time to rent a car. Down 8%. I don't know.
All right, and then if you missed it, PPI comes out the next day. It's basically a wash. It was a little bit, there's portions of it that were a little bit higher than expected, but for the most part, in line with expectations.
Were we red on the week?
We were.
Okay.
I actually saw the Dow. Have you seen the Dow?
I don't want to, because you know what the big proponents of the Dow are? We've got Boeing. We've got Intel. We've got UNH. Plus, we have Apple. Okay, Brennan's very...
This is a weekly chart.
Let's go to Brennan's screen there, because I want to see this.
This is a weekly chart.
Yeah.
2 in a row.
Yuck. What is that high there? What are you looking at, DIA?
Yeah. What is this? 398, I guess?
How important is ETF trading now? I think it's huge. Aren't we just looking at ETFs all the time
From
now?
a volume basis, yeah, 100%. But speaking of, this is like
Wow, so you are all the way back to when is this?
Volume.
Oh, man. So come on, I mean, I think, again, I like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, actually. Talk about blue chip, talk about getting diversified. I mean, we should probably find a graphic, I'll get it, of all the big names that are in there. But yeah, UNH, Boeing, Intel, Apple's down there. I mean, say the story, but back to year, right there. I mean, to turn red on the year, we're going to have to fall into about 372. So you're about like 1% or so away from that. Look at where RSI is. So again, we've talked about trying to buy some relative strength. I think this potentially oversold. Down here, $33. The last time we were down there, look at this, Brendan, back in the lows of October was the last time we were down there. Huge move up. We were also down into 30s the last time we were low right there now. But it's been having its way to the downside. You see how we go up here? Yeah. When RSI goes down. So yeah, a little bit of weakness being held there in the Dow Jones. But you know what? Let me ask you this. You want to average into the Dow or to the Qs? Which would be the NASDAQ.
Why not
both? That is interesting. Why not both? Because then you double your fund to the downside when you're wrong. Is that what you do? Is you sort of just every month?
A little sprinkle.
Little sprinkle everywhere. I like
across
that.
the board.
I've got to get better on that, man.
I just did that this week, actually.
You're so smart.
It's, I'm really not. I just have alerts set. Let's talk about
alert that I have is credit card bill due. Oh,
exactly. That's the alert that comes up.
That's the worst one.
Let's talk about chips. We get this note on China pretty late in the week. But speaking of pullbacks, I just brought up AMD. I mean, maybe we should bring up SMH here and get a broader look, speaking of ETFs, because some of these are still actually holding up pretty well on the ETF side of things. But this is the note. Telecom carriers in China, specifically government in general, hinting at further restrictions for US-based chips coming into China. So I think if you look at it from this perspective, I mean, that's the SMH. But then if you look at it from a more zoomed in perspective, AMD, NVIDIA, I mean, NVIDIA's in a world of its own. But from a bigger perspective, I think it's buyable on a dip. Individually, there's more individual catalysts. You talked about Intel that we can get into a little bit more. But if you were going to look at chips in general right now, do you take a broad approach or do you focus on one or two?
You know what I would do? I would do the former. No, the latter. I would focus on one or two.
Yeah.
I really feel like the story is NVIDIA. I mean, Intel is a nightmare. We are underneath the 200 period. We continue to go lower. I do think $30 is probably in sights there. They really screwed up and they didn't screw it up. It is what it is. They have to tell the truth. That foundry getting pushed into 2030 for profitability. I still have the SMH up. I don't even have Intel up.
Yeah.
But I just
great looking chart though.
We had I mean, there's just different things. Like Marvel will have its own problems. AMD will have its own problems. Like that Intel chip that they came out with, that Gaudi 3 or whatever it is, you know what they're comparing that to? The H100. That story is 2 years old. The new chip is Blackwell. So Intel came out basically and was like, oh yeah, here we go, introducing the brand new iPhone 13, you know? And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we are cheaper, a lot lighter, and a lot faster than the H100. Yeah. And it was like, okay, well, we're already using the H100, so now we're looking for the next move up. So I just think that if you're gonna dance with the devil, what you might as well do is dance with the devil himself, and that is NVIDIA. A pullback into the 50-period moving average. We didn't even break that. Like, I think you got to be buying this name. So look at what NVIDIA looks like. And then the other name that I was thinking about would be Micron. You need RAM, you need memory, all these servers, SMCI. I like SMCI. I like the server side of it. I think you want to diversify into that. That might be okay. But again, that's a rocket ship to the north side. And if you have, you know, a little bit of a appetite for risk, SMCI might be the one for you. But Micron on pullbacks as well. I could see that lasting in here. Maybe a gap fill back down into 110. And then you get really worried if you fill it back to 100. But that could be something that you buy that's a little under the radar as well. When do their earnings come? March 20th. The thing about NVIDIA, though, Brendan, is they get pushed out. March 20th. So we've already had Micron.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, but May 20th.
Wait, what?
That's wrong. They should have had their next one. It said March 20th. But May 22nd is NVIDIA. So much is going to happen. It's only April, whatever it is now, 11th, 12th. Still, a month and a bit away for NVIDIA. I would buy that. But I think to diversify your portfolio, you always want to pick up some SMH anyway.
I see June 26th.
Yeah, so Micron kind of kicks it off. So that's why I like Micron. We've already got their story. But what about that pre-announcement from Taiwan Semi?
Yeah, we can go touch on TSM, but I wanted to mention Google as well, because from a chip angle, there was a broader story this week that I think is important and will be going forward, in that more of these big companies are hinting at or showing initiatives towards developing some sort of solution on their own. So this was the headline that Google came out with, developing their own ARM-based chips to make cloud computing more affordable. So as you said, yes, sweet, takes out the highs and then some. And oh yeah, Sean, so earnings.
So do you know the best thing?
2 weeks.
Oh, I like it. Google's breaking out. I really like Google. I think it's an amazing opportunity to buy more Google, because they're in everything, and now they're going to be doing the chip game. They've already put their own chips in the Pixels. We already know about that. As AI, Microsoft's the king of AI, apparently, but I mean, Google isn't too far behind it. And I feel like, don't sleep on the announcement that's going to come in June when Google and Apple partner up. We already saw, that's what I think. We already saw a partnership with Google and Broadcom.
Yeah.
And then you know what lets me sleep at night on Google being my largest holding and being in Meta and all these other names, is that Jensen himself came out and said he is willing and ready to work with all of his competition. He wants to bring more people into the space. And you would think the other way around, like, oh my God, Google's making a chip that's going to compete. They're not. They're not trying to compete with the Blackwells, these major chips. They're just trying to improve the business that they have, which, again, the more efficient, the faster we are in this universe. I just think it benefits everybody, but it goes back to NVIDIA. And I'm going to take a Cramer. I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of people that don't like Jim Cramer, but I think that's a buy and hold, don't trade name. I think you're just going to hold Google and NVIDIA. Yeah. I think you don't worry about those dips, because come to my screen, Brendan. I think you were buying here. I know Neil was as well. I think a lot of us were. Like, this was one of the only names that dipped into the 50, the 200. That's the 50. That's the 200 period moving average on the daily. So back in March, we got a gift down to 132, and now you're up at all-time highs at 157, looking to break through 160, which we almost did.
Yeah, I bought the gap too.
I love Google. I just think you got to stay. But the thing is, we do have to be aware, Brendan, that there is going to be a pullback.
At some point. And,
and we just want to make sure that
if your time frame is forever, then you smile and you move on to the next day.
Oh man, I'm still, that Bitcoin today, that was
ugly. Speaking of AI, what a week for Apple on this. Here comes the M4. Right around the corner. They're going to revamp the entire Mac lineup, starting with the MacBooks by the end of this year, and then the desktop version early 2025. So M4 going to be AI-based and AI-focused, more of which, as you alluded to, we will find out coming up in June. Earnings for Mr. Apple.
What day is that?
May 2.
May 2.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to, Neil will be saying, May the 4th be with you, because, again, for Star Wars. So shout out to Neil right there as well. Yeah, again, I mean,
buy more Apple.
Yeah, we like Apple down here. I don't think there's a problem. I mean, it is going to be, I think it's number 4 or whatever, 3 maybe market cap in the world. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Apple. I think that we do have some worries about China. I do like the divesting out of China into India. I think that production is going to be huge. To me, the MacBook is less than, I believe, 10% of their total sales anyways, but it's the idea that now, when they have these chips, they can now sort of get away a little bit from the dependence of other companies, which is fine.
Yep.
They've always sort of done that. They've been putting their own chips in their stuff for a while, but the idea is AI-based chip.
Yeah.
And when you get it here on your phone and into your Mac, and you don't have to ask the cloud, like when you're going on Perplexity or all that, that's in the cloud. When you get something loaded, like Google will, load up Gemini and get all these into their own hardware, that's when you make sort of the phones faster. I think you can go with a little bit of security as well there. I think people trust Apple. So when they say, hey, look, for $5 or $10 a month, and I say it's probably going to be 20 or something like that, let us handle all of that. We'll mesh your calendar together. We'll figure out what your order is from Starbucks. We'll get it all figured out for you, no problem. And by the way, here's a terabyte of data as well for storage. I think people switch over. I like Apple, and I don't think the story is ever going to be over.
Happy, or how Apple of them to drop these little breadcrumbs along the way heading towards June, where they'll unveil everything. But as we've been saying, you know, when they come with their version of whatever it's going to be, it's going to lead the way.
You know what's actually amazing? With over 2 billion of an install base, we talk about how important security is. I think it was like 10 years ago or something, we had like someone hacked into iPhoto or whatever, and there was all those pictures,
celebrities all over the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Those that.
Yeah,
and you haven't heard of that in a while.
No.
So I feel pretty confident that Apple's going to sort of push that idea of security, of have everything in our suite, and trust us. You know.
I agree.
Let's move forward with Apple. I like it. There's also a dividend attached to Apple, although it's small. There is some yield there.
You nailed it with the China angle. I think it'll all come down to that number. The sales number.
Yeah, well, they lost the sales in China, right? It was their first in a while where it was red, wasn't it?
The last quarter, yeah, but I'm talking about when they report.
Oh, when they report,
yeah.
Is there a sandbag, though, in some of that? You know, like, I feel like a lot of these analysts, they just go like, oh, sales are going to be down in China. But this time, though, Brendan, I think they might be right, because we did have the government come out and ban them from their employees there.
Here's Meta's sheep, I guess.
Llama, where's your mama?
We're getting the third version.
What the hell is that?
Llama 3.
Oh, Llama 3, okay. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I don't know.
We just showed a picture of 3 llamas with some Meta symbol in the background.
So yeah,
this is why you got to watch us online.
There's going to be, for anyone on audio, it's a stupid graphic. There's going to be 2 smaller versions that come out in a few weeks here. But I mean, again, AI. I feel like a broken record all the time. It's all AI all day, all the time.
Yeah. So the funniest thing about Instagram and Meta is exactly that. They don't really monetize Instagram that well yet. There's Reels.
But it's still 50% of the business.
It's just like, I feel like there's more to come there, and I don't really know what they're going to be doing with it, but I think there's more to come, and I still stay long and get long Meta immediately would be my call for that. Yeah. I like Meta. I like all these names. Look at this sheet. Look what I have here. Richest people in the world. You want to talk about things that we've been talking about here? We still got Bill Gates right here. We got Zuckerberg coming in at number 4. Come on, I mean, as this goes, look at Elon.
Work harder.
But look who's here. First of all, Bernard here from LVMH. Shout out to all of that. This dude is crushing it. $233 billion right now from LVMH fame.
Tell me people aren't spending money right now.
So him and Mukesh Ambani down here from India. Everybody else part of the United States. But look where it comes from. Elon Musk, visionary, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. These are all people that started their business in their garage. Okay, Larry Ellison here from Oracle, give me a break. Someone named, what is this guy's name? Oh yeah, Warren Buffett, right there as well. Bill Gates. There's literally pictures of this guy in his garage. Steve Ballmer kind of hopped on with Bill Gates there. And then Mukesh, he was a lot higher in this. We did have some wealth destruction over there on some of the, I forget what his company was there in India. And then of course, Larry Page at the end as well. So again, the tech just keeps on rolling. And I just think this, we're not going anywhere. You know, the youth love, Neil talked about this as well, saying, hey Google, hey, I shouldn't say it, hey Siri, yeah, as my phone's active up right now. This is the next, yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. That's what you should be telling.
Come on, Siri, hit the like. Later, Siri, later.
Do not ping my iPhone. Oh, crap. How did that just happen? It's trying to find my phone.
You said, the magic words.
No, I just think technology is not going anywhere.
No,
buy the dips. I think we might be a little bit extended now.
I'm super excited about these robots. I don't know who will be first to come with the robots, whether it's Elon.
I did confirm it's $4 to $5 for a shirt at Gibson's Cleaners, and they're actually like.
I still want a robot.
I want the robot.
I still want a robot.
I just don't know if
think of all the other
robot.
stuff that it would do.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know. But you have a condo.
Yeah.
Is there room in there for like a robot you can be running into you?
My dog can.
Yeah, your dog. Would the dog be scared of the robot?
No, not at all.
You know, my dog is hilarious. Oh, do you have a Roomba?
No.
Oh, it's not. Yeah. We have a Roomba. My dog is hilarious. She plays with the Roomba. It's going around. It's trying to like do. It's really.
Have you seen those videos of Roombas eating dogs' tails?
You said that last time. I want to put my cat. It's too bad my cat wouldn't do this, but put the cat on the Roomba and just let it just travel around.
It would have
that
nothing
would be hilarious.
to do with that.
I would not want to do that. No.
I would not want to do
and
that.
And then the thing is though, you got to make sure if you have stairs that you put the little laser thing there, or else the Roomba just goes right down the stairs.
That happened to a neighbor way back when.
Yeah.
It was like version 1.0 of the Roomba just jumped off the.
We didn't have that story that Apple was making that robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean, Bezos is investing in it. Elon's investing in it heavily.
Is that the coolest thing about AI? Is all this this is the automation of.
I mean, there's so much, everything.
Yeah.
Driving.
I was going to say full self-drive,
Yeah.
I think, is going to be one of the biggest things that impact all of us.
Watch this professional segue. Let's talk about Tesla's RoboTaxi.
I like the RoboTaxi, and that was very professional, Brendan.
You like that, huh?
It's a little bit less professional when you lead it with, like, watch this professional thing, but that was very, I do that all the time.
Yeah, here's Tesla. I mean, the move lower continues overall on a weekly chart here. It's been an ugly year. It continues to be. But yeah, August 8th, write that down, because Elon's going to take the cover off of the RoboTaxi. Whatever it will be, I mean, there's a lot of guesstimating in this article of what he's going to show. Like, is this not just software strapped onto a Model 3?
Is it a Model 3 or is it a completely new
like
model? I thought it was supposed to be like that. So I think this story got miscovered there by Bloomberg or whoever it was. I don't think they were scrapping the Model 2. I just think that the Model 2 is the RoboTaxi.
Yeah, that's a good angle. I like that.
You know, I think he's waiting to release that. He's going to say, hey, look, we're trying to change the world. My idea is Uber or Uber Tesla, something like that.
Yeah.
And I like it. The thing about what I keep going back to is that whenever I talk to my kids about a car and they're 9 and 12, and even my 22-year-old, 21, turning 22, it's like they think Tesla, they think electric. They're the only company right now, we talk about BYD, but that's in China. Rivian's having problems near lows as far as the stock is concerned. Fisker, that was a great investment. Slapping the fail on that one. That's at 2 cents. We put some more money into that at 13 cents or whatever it was. Man, I might as well have taken out 5 $100 bills and just literally lit them on fire. At least we could have got a good TikTok out of that.
Here's Lucid's weekly chart. It's a tough business to be in when your weekly chart goes down.
Yeah, the good thing about Lucid is
it's $2,
and they've got that money that's going to keep getting pumped into there until it eventually fails, and then they get taken private by those guys.
There was clearly the last time it happened, and it just turned right and continued downside. So
yeah, well, I mean, we know that fund there in Saudi Arabia, I think, is well invested. I should find out the exact percentage that they own, but I think eventually they just take that company off.
They should.
Because it's not doing anything. I did see a Lucid Air, which was really hot on the street the other day.
They're big, though, no?
They're big. They're big. They're big.
I was surprised the first time I saw one.
Huge cars. So I don't think that's good. I don't think the world wants more, like, bigger vehicles.
Yeah, like, how do you put that in Europe? How do you put that in areas of the world where the streets are small? Like, I get it for the Saudis and Dubai and those type of places where everything's huge, but
Tesla
they're
apparently
limited.
has $30 billion in cash on hand.
Tesla,
yeah, that's not bad.
I believe that.
So what I was going to say is that I think it's worth a buy. We only have 6 trading days until earnings. 6. A lot's going to happen in the market in those 6 days. I think that Tesla, although worth waiting 6 days, there's this level here of 150, 154. We gapped through there back a while ago that's 23, right? January of 23, we went from here 144, gap up to 160. We really haven't filled that gap back yet. We are getting very, very close to doing that. I wonder if we do stop in and around 150, 160. Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to have to be, look, 10% down from there gets you there.
That's an ugly year, man, for Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's down this year. It's been pretty nasty but I want to buy it.
I agree. I think you get 150. It's a matter of when.
Brendan, we were just at 280, man.
I know.
280 down to 180 and holding.
This is not on our notes, but I wanted to throw this out there just because it's coming up next week. This is a crazy chart. We're getting Netflix earnings next week.
Let me see what that chart
That'll kick things off for quote unquote monster tech. This thing's right back to. We can go to this, guys, when you have a sec here. We're right back to, what is this? 2021 levels here for Netflix. Have you seen any of these new shows that have popped up on Netflix? I mean,
Yes.
there's a few.
There was that one that I recommended. What was it called again? I've done it now. Oh no, the one that's the movie. I keep thinking The Graduate, but that's Gentleman.
Gentleman.
Yeah, The Graduate. There's What's new shows? There
Shogun.
Three Body Problem.
Three Body Problem. That was a good one too. Shogun is actually.
No, I didn't.
Really
What
good.
is Shogun?
Hold on, am I wrong? Is that even on Netflix?
There was Fallout on Swords. Yeah. Japanese.
It's really good.
There was Fallout on Amazon. That's a video game, I think, that just got released.
I started watching that.
We were gonna watch that last night. It was released last night.
I started watching that last night. It's
Getting good from Fabian.
unreal.
Good?
How visual it is.
Ooh.
Like very, very, very
good. I'll
visual.
put on
Like, it's really good.
Apple
No, but
Vision Pros.
Shogun too, really good. So, and it is Netflix.
I got one that definitely Ramin, which I will not talk to her. Vanderpump Rules.
I have not seen it.
It's ridiculous. I was there and my wife was watching it. Surprise, surprise. And it's basically just a bunch of like really attractive men and women that hang around and serve really rich people random, they stay at a resort type thing. And I don't even know who this Vanderpump lady is, but it was quite wild. Marissa explained it to me. She used to be a restaurateur or something like that. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Probably a good thing. It was like a Love Island or something like that. It was really, really.
Pass.
But I know it gets a lot of high ratings. All right, you asked me about Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that actually matters here, price action.
Like right back to highs. This thing's nuts.
I'm going to show you the RSI.
Okay. It's yeah.
So, I mean, where are the buyers at?
But
what I'm
that
asking.
also is divergence, meaning that it's working off an overbought area without actually coming back in.
I see you have done your homework, Brendan.
I do like technicals.
Man, not just a great.
Does this thing take out these highs? Like I mean, it comes down to the ad-based whatever it's called package for Netflix.
Right. What is the tier like?
Like if they come out with ad numbers that blow away expectations, like how does this thing not take out the highs?
Well, because I don't even know what the PE is.
It's monstrous. But when is
you see this $600 level? I know, and that's why I'm saying, I just get worried, Brendan, that there's guys like me and you that have seen, or anybody that has just seen such a big move. We're up from $500 at the beginning of the year up to 622. That's a 20% move on the year.
Yeah.
If they beat numbers and they guide, fantastic. Okay.
Take a guess on the PE.
PE?
Yeah.
130.
No, not that crazy.
88.
52.
That's not bad, actually.
That's actually
So what I thought about PE is I want to see the historical PE because that's maybe in line with where it is. Probably a little bit under what their PE is.
I actually watched a podcast with the CTO.
Wait a second.
Of Netflix.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
There's a lot in it.
The environment that they've
created.
Has
the password sharing even done anything? We were all really nervous about that.
I think it has, absolutely.
Has it? Okay,
absolutely.
so that's good for them then.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like all those people, they can now monetize on the ad side.
I wasn't sure if that password sharing was working. I don't know. Maybe people in the chat could let us know if it is or not.
Leave a comment. Yeah, absolutely.
Remember Sharif was talking about sharing it with his moms.
I kicked my mom off so fast.
Oh, my mom? So think about my parents. My mom is so, I don't know, why are we whispering when we talk about our parents? Like, there's no way my mom.
So they don't hear.
My mom was like, what the hell is a podcast? Like, are you okay? Are you stuck in a pod somewhere? Like,
yes.
You know?
Yes,
yes, I am. Get me out of here immediately. No. Oh, by the way, we're about to go into a room over there. That podcast room's looking nice. Nice little carpet there. Did you pick that carpet?
It's got a bit of a interrogation feel to it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, is this where we're going? Is that the room you're going to get fired? It's like, Sean, we're doing a podcast.
It's almost.
By the way, pack your bags before you get in.
It's almost completely soundproof too, so no one will ever know.
No one will hear you scream. Why?
Anyway.
Okay, I was going to say something about Netflix.
You kicked your mom off.
Oh yes. So, but the thing is about it is no, I didn't kick her off.
I kicked my mom off.
So the minute she found out that there was like this sort of password sharing issue, she's so afraid to log into it now. She doesn't even click on the app anymore. I'm like, Mom, just do it. Just click on it. When it asks you for the password, type it in and see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyways.
My
dad just like, whatever.
And then we have this fight coming up as well.
Jake Paul. Oh, that was the other thing. WWE is still huge.
Yeah.
And they signed that deal exclusive with Netflix. I think that could be a sort of a page turner there, honestly.
That's where I was going with this podcast. I listened to a podcast with the CTO, and she was actually saying and signaling that this is only the beginning for quote unquote live content.
Yes, that was the next
for Netflix. So they're going to shift and focus more in that area, which is
like,
amazing.
what if Netflix just said to the Masters, which is independently run?
Yeah. And
you know,
CBS
like,
pays.
No. Did you know this? The Masters is broadcasted for free. They give the rights to the Masters to ESPN, CBS, all of these guys for free.
Yeah.
Because and all they ask for is control of the production quality.
Timing, yeah.
They want the timing, they want the production quality,
right.
They want the music.
Right.
They don't want to sell it. They want it to remain prestige.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a target. Will somebody come in and look to buy some of those?
It's the only golf tournament all year long
that you'll really watch.
Where it only starts at like 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and then you get like 3 hours. Where every other golf tournament, it's all day basically, depending on what cable package you have. But yeah, anyways, long story. Thursday, I think it is, for Netflix coming up this week, which is basically kicking off tech, I guess, for earnings season. But
this has been a lot of fun so far. People hit the like and the subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let us know if there's anything you want to talk about.
There's not much in the way of economic data this week. I mean, we just get CPI, we just get PPI. I was mentioning to Frank, if anyone was watching during the live show, make sure you come by any day the market is open. We're live on YouTube. Frank Caberna, shout out to him over at IG in Chicago, mentioning that we have 2.5 weeks now, Sean, until the Fed.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yes. It's May 1st is the next.
Already?
Is the next. No. But my point is,
man, it never
we
stops.
get past non-farm payrolls, we get past CPI, and now we just kind of float
But
around
it's
here until we get the next indication.
But we do not, though, because the thing about it is, Brendan, in May, it is
It's a no.
nothing
But
burger.
nothing's going to happen. No, but it's going to be about the comments, right? Like everyone's going to want to hear what he has to say.
Did you say there was the introduction of the dot plot again?
No,
that's June.
That's June.
Okay.
But May 1st is when we get that, which is going to be no change. It's just what is Fed Chair Powell?
Yeah, I think it's earnings time.
Yeah.
Right? Put up or shut up. You know,
Let's
we saw
wrap
the
this up.
banks make some moves back in. Hold on a second. So before we do anything here, it's not like I have anything crazy to talk about. We did ask for some questions. You know, I want to save this for the next podcast, possibly.
Okay.
Because I think it's a little bit longer. They want to hear more about the early days of our careers.
Okay,
Maybe we'll each think of a story for next week. So we'll do that. So there's a teaser for next week already.
So many.
Yeah, there's so
Trading
many.
Japanese stocks at 2 a.m. when there's no liquidity.
The best time, baby. Yeah, so there you go. Teaser, I like that.
Good time.
I once got that phone call as well at 3 in the morning for something and had to run into the office. So that was a lot of fun as well. People want to talk about, so we talked about gold a little bit already. That was something to talk about. Yeah, I don't have too much more. Oh, I have something fun. Now, back in the day, because I know that you're all Mr. Healthy now, which is good for you. That's great. But just the only reason I say this is because it doesn't help for this story. But back in the day, here, give me where you would rank this. So food price inflation. Here we go, man. McDonald's. The prices at McDonald's are absolutely insane right now. From
100%. Am I reading this right?
Yes. So prices over the last decade here. Shout out to Charlie Bailello. Again, lots of views, man, 700,000 views. So McDonald's leads the way with 100% price increase in 10 years. I say shout out to Starbucks, man. Starbucks is only 40% up, which is the lowest here.
I was throwing them under the
Inflation,
bus.
though, Brendan, this is the other thing, 31%.
In that same time.
In that same time.
Right.
So Starbucks keeping with inflation, which is nice.
Okay.
McDonald's 100%. But if you could choose here, out of any of these names, it's McDonald's, Popeyes, Taco Bell, Chipotle, Jimmy John's, pass, I don't even know what that is. Arby's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Panera, Subway, and then even Starbucks. We'll throw Starbucks out. But if you could say, throw it out, you know, and let's just say right now, current day Brendan, forget about nutritional values.
Buy one of them?
No. Where would you eat?
Oh.
That's it.
Nowhere.
Come on, Brendan, this is not fun.
I'm not eating at any of them.
I know, but okay, fine.
Where are you eating?
For me, I like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Or I was going to say Chipotle.
Chipotle's not bad.
Yeah.
I'll give you Chipotle.
No, but that's what I was saying. I'm saying forget about like, okay, I only eat healthy. I'm saying if you had to choose one of these places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll give you Chipotle.
Yeah, I think Chipotle.
Split
Our
coming
family
up,
likes Subway. Subways are really quick after a game.
Right.
So then you're kind of getting a sandwich. You're not getting like, you know, you don't have the side fries.
I have a funny story about Subway, but we can save that for another
Subway,
time.
eat fresh.
Meatball subs.
You love the meatball sub?
God.
Or no?
Oh my God, it's so good.
That is the only thing.
It's so dangerous.
The reason why I needed your response there is because that's the only thing Marissa eats.
Yeah, it's so good.
Is the meatball sub.
Shout out to Marissa.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Let's talk about.
I said to Ramin, I was so thankful I found Marissa because of man. Who else would put up with me?
What would you do?
What would I do?
You teased your one good thing at the beginning of the show, so
was the Masters? Yeah.
I
have another.
We have nothing to do with this company. I just want to say that first off, they are not sponsoring this podcast, but I want to shout out this app, Macro Factor. If anyone has any inclination or any interest in getting a better sense of your health, go check out Macro Factor. It's absolutely phenomenal. There's an AI portion of it, so it adjusts what you're doing along the way for you. Again, we have no affiliation with Macro Factor.
What does it do, though? You have to put in your food. What are you putting in there?
Exactly. So, I mean, long story short, it's burn versus input, right? So as you burn more or burn less, it adjusts how much you should be taking.
So does it attach to the watch? So
your
heart?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's Macro. Go check it out.
Free
it's
or
no?
No, there's a paid there.
But you get what you pay for. Trust me. So I mean, you teased it at the beginning, but yeah.
Mine was the Masters and hanging out and just chilling out, and especially after a long week of trading. It's always nice to relax. I think the Masters is awesome, and it's often a family tradition as well.
Yeah, same.
So, you know, hang out, watch it, and then you don't even need that. Just nice to watch. I was saying to Max earlier, I was like, I really like watching the Masters, but this year I'm not in any pools. We screwed that up. We should have had one on the show. And then tonight, another one good thing is it's wrapping up of the hockey season. So tonight is a huge party for my daughter's team, and it should be hilarious.
Nice.
They're all running around this place. They got these little tokens,
nice.
Play some games, eat some pizza.
What do you think? Tiger Woods finish or no?
Oh, did he make the cut? So he's made 20.
He was even, I think.
He's made 21 or 24 straight cuts. It's one of those.
By the way, Tiger Woods goes out and shoots a absolutely even par round on one leg, essentially.
Yesterday was -1, even better, yeah.
Like the guy's
one leg. Yeah, his last tournament he played in was February.
On
and
one
he dropped
leg.
out of it, yeah, because he wasn't feeling well.
Like the guy's just out of this world.
These guys are out of this world. I think in sports history, for me, out of anybody, he would be the greatest of all time in any sport.
Records, purely just on records,
just
100%.
by what you're looking at.
100%.
Like Gretzky, but
no one is even close to Tiger Woods on.
You still watching F1? I know you're pissed off about that. Not as competitive
I don't want to talk about it.
I thought we were going to wrap this up. So
let's wrap it up.
All right.
All right, episode 22. Have a fantastic weekend. We're back on Monday. Join us live on YouTube. Episode 22 in the books. Bye-bye.
Wrap.